The primary impact of hearing loss is on the child or young person's ability to access spoken language. As reception ultimately drives expression, our major focus is on the development of understanding and the exchange of meanings. With sensory neurohearing loss, the problem is not simply one of reduction in volume. There is often gross distortion of sound. In school, where listening conditions may be far from ideal, difficulties with speech perception are compounded. Background noise, reverberation, and the distance from the speaker all have a deleterious influence on the speech discrimination abilities of a child with impaired hearing. Managing the technology is crucial, as this underpins everything that we do. Teachers of the deaf work closely with their colleagues in health to ensure that children receive the most appropriate hearing aids and that devices are used efficiently and effectively to support hearing. Having ensured that equipment is working optimally, teachers of the deaf work with hearing impaired youngsters and their families and school colleagues to maximise listening potential and promote access to spoken language, whichever methodology is used. The level of support provided is dependent upon the impact of the hearing loss on the child or young person's development and is informed by the national eligibility criteria for support. This ensures the equitable allocation of resources. Children with impaired hearing who have significant support requirements are visited on a regular basis. Their visiting teacher of the deaf will plan and deliver specialist direct teaching to promote inclusion and access to a broad and balanced curriculum, in addition to enhancing the school or setting's ability to deliver the curriculum. This will involve providing and maintaining a range of audiological equipment, teaching to progress those areas of development primarily impacted upon by hearing impairment, such as listening skills, communication, speech, language, literacy, independent learning and thinking skills. Completing specialist assessment of need and progress aligned to these areas of development. Providing inset and ongoing advice or guidance to school-based colleagues on the nature of the child's impairment, its potential impact on the educational process, and the means by which the school can ameliorate this. In collaboration with school colleagues, pupils and families, providing intervention plans and contributing to the school's review of progress. Preparing teaching sessions, including preparation of differentiated materials, and pre- and post-tutoring and consolidation of the mainstream curriculum.
Don't look.
Sorry.
A large current in a circuit makes bulbs bright.
The large current in the circuit makes bulbs bright.
Good, good, good. So that's a new word in terms of it's fruit, and we dry them and we use them in cakes and things. So there's two currents, two words. ENT means
Electricity.
yes, and ANT means
Dried fruit or something.
dried fruit. Right, very good. Okay, lovely. These are questions that you need to be able to answer by the time you finish this topic about electricity. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the questions.
What happens if you add another bulb to the circuit? If you add another bulb to the circuit, it will become dim because there's not enough electricity going around now through the bulbs in the next bulb.
The bulbs have to share the amount of current that's going around that circuit. Okay.
Is there a sample insulator?
Very good.
It helps not let the electricity flow out.
Yes, very good. It insulates the current in the metal so that it can't pass into something that you don't want it to go to. Very good. So what was the word for that again?
Insulator.
Well done. It's an insulator.
I've looked at your chemistry textbook and I've taken up quite a lot of information about extracting materials. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is read this through. And can you see there's some words in the red here.
Yeah.
So their words, we're going to work out what do they really mean.
Oh, okay.
Like, give the definition.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so repel, that word repel, means... What does repel mean? To push away. Brilliant. To push away. Excellent. Then we call the rock a metal ore. Ores are mined from the ground. Some need to be concentrated. Oh, well done. A bit too fast for you there. No, you're right.
My.
You're right. Yeah,
Are you sure?
I am.
Some of the time allocated to the child will also be dedicated to learning support assistant training to help build school capacity. Sensory Support delivers a well-regarded accredited programme of learning support assistant training at 2 levels. This training is commissioned by schools and delivered both in schools and through county training days. Hearing impaired children and young people who have been assessed to be progressing at a level commensurate with their ability, who may be fitted with hearing aids or have fluctuating impairments, and are perceived at potential risk of facing difficulties without specialist monitoring, are visited on an occasional basis. The service does not provide direct teaching to such pupils, but rather acts to confirm consistency of hearing, use of equipment and continuity of progression, and to offer advice and guidance to school-based colleagues. The degree of involvement will reflect the individual child or young person's needs, but most frequently involves a termly or twice-termly monitoring assessment, followed by a short written report. Pupils are placed on a school-to-contact register. If they have been assessed by the service and hearing impairment is found not to be a significant factor influencing ability to access the curriculum. A concern for the well-being of a child or young person underpins all of our work. All staff undertake training in safeguarding and are skilled in non-professional counselling. Sensory Support records both national measures of progress and the results of specialist assessments, in addition to undertaking annual self-evaluation. We have a robust system of monitoring and assessment that establishes current levels of functioning, measures achievement to inform planning, and swiftly flags up poor progress. The standardised scores of specialist assessments are collated annually, the data queried and actions identified. Northumberland students with impaired hearing have high levels of attainment at GCSE when compared to national benchmarks. For example, data from 2012 evidences that 77% of hearing impaired young people in Northumberland achieved 5 or more A-star to C GCSEs, with 50% achieving 5 or more A-star to C GCSEs, including Maths and English, when the national figure was 35%. An assessment of the pupils', families' and schools' appraisal of service performance is completed biannually, the results of which are evaluated and acted upon. Our information from the most recent schools audit is that of the 208 measures received, 171 rated the service as excellent or very good. In response to the question, what do you think the service could do better? Replies from schools included: parents provided 304 measures, of which 298 rated the service as excellent or very good. In response to the question, what do you think the service could do better? Replies from parents included: Pupils provided 91 measures, of which 81 rated the service as excellent or very good.